Qatar is a slave state. Workers in Qatar, 1.4 million workers, migrant workers, they are effectively owned by another human being. The state of Qatar runs a slavery system, a system of modern slavery called the kafala system. They refuse to change. You are contracted, often to go from an Asian country or an African country to Nepal as a poor worker desperate to earn income, to find the contract you signed is torn up and you're often paid less than half of the wages you were guaranteed. Sometimes you're not paid for months on end. Indeed, you will have already paid potentially up to $2,000 or more US dollars for the right to work in Qatar. That's a fortune. People can't afford it, they borrow it or their families chip in, and then of course you're stranded in Qatar with an employer who totally controls your life. You're forced to live in squalid accommodation. You are in fact forced to work long hours in extreme heat, 6, 7 days a week, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, return to squalid conditions where you live and food that is of poor quality. People's lives are at risk, the death rate is unbelievable, and indeed FIFA has contributed to legitimating this system because they awarded the World Cup to Qatar without conditions. They could have seen off the kafala system, seen off modern slavery. They of course have been exposed, and we're proud of having a part in that, for the corrupt institution they are. But their new leadership appears to be no different. Infantino is demanding more than $2 million in salary. He says 2 million is an insult. He's actually now changed the independent rules around the ethics committee, the remuneration committee. So more of the same. It appears to us that FIFA is business as usual. I was in Qatar with FIFA and John Ruggie and the sponsors of the games, and indeed the Ruggie report showed absolutely that FIFA has a responsibility to actually make sure workers' rights are met, that there's compliance and there's a grievance mechanism. That means Qatar has to play the game. But in fact, what we saw was excuses, an attempt to snow people that they would make some changes. Nothing has changed. And the sponsors know that their reputation is at risk. They're becoming impatient. We're beyond patient. There is no room for slavery in the modern world.